All right. It's Prop the Mic, PTM. We're live. We're mixing things up today again. We typically don't pod on Thursdays, but Jordan and I just had so much fun yesterday. We couldn't wait to get back into the studio. We got a nice little 4-game NBA slate, which at least for me is refreshing. I don't know, after a couple monster, like 11-game slates, it's just hard to get your head around those, at least for me. So I like a nice little 4-game slate. I feel like I get a much better feel for things. You can dive a little deeper into some of the games, and then we got my Jets yet again in prime time, unfortunately for the rest of the viewing audience out there. So we'll get to all that real quick before we get started. You all know Props.cash has been the longtime sponsor of Prop the Mic, and we 100% could not do what we do without the tools they provide. But we wanted all of our viewers to see for themselves the power of Props.cash, not just watch it on the screens here when we're clicking around. So for a limited time only, we teamed up with Props.cash to offer PTM listeners an exclusive 50% off discount on their first month of Props.cash. It's a great opportunity to get in. It's already a reasonably priced tool. Now you get 50% off your first month to play around with it and see how much you can elevate your prop betting game once you start to do that. So get in while you can. It's a limited time offer. Sign up using code PTM50 to get 50% off your first month. Again, code PTM50 for 50% off your first month of Props.cash. What's up, Jordan? What's going on?
What's up? What's up? Happy Halloween.
Yes.
I don't know how you treat Halloween, but I like to treat it like I do sports. I don't like to be a participant as much as I do a spectator, and I want to
I'm
eat massive amounts of candy while doing it.
I'm with you. So no costume, just candy.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
I just want to
that is how I
observe how
roll.
much fun everybody else is having.
That's how I've always rolled. Halloween has never been my favorite holiday. Even as a kid, was not my favorite. Didn't like the whole getting dressed up thing. So I don't know if that's
Same.
the Grinch in me or something, the Halloween Grinch. But yeah, never been my favorite thing. So happy to see you're on board there with me as well. Let's throw up
Yep.
the little PTM50 code in case anyone missed that. We'll throw that up on the screen there. And what do you say we
50%. Dang.
50%, man?
Let's go.
Let's go. People are enjoying that. People are signing up. They know it's a limited time offer. Usually it's been 25% for the whole lifetime of our relationship with Props.cash. So this is a good opportunity, and people are taking advantage of it for sure. So it's that's good to see. It's nice to see there.
Love to
So
see it.
I say we start with a little NBA, and then we'll cover.
Yep.
I'm just not super excited to talk about my Jets, so we're gonna leave those to the end. Um,
It's
so
depressing for you. I get it.
let's pull up the Props.cash screen and get going on this here. Uh, down here we go. Just get my screen organized here. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let's just start off the top of the list here. Our first game is Milwaukee at Memphis. Memphis is on a back-to-back, I believe. Yeah, they played last night.
Mhm.
Milwaukee's 1-3, Memphis 2-3. So slow starts to two teams that have some high expectations this season. Memphis is getting 6.5 points at home to Milwaukee. Totals 232.5. I think that's the highest total on the board today. Do you have anything you were liking in this game, Jordan?
There's a couple things I like. I want to start off with a player who has one of my favorite quotes ever, and that's Torian Prince.
Okay.
If any of you are familiar with how Baylor got out rebounded, and he says, "Well, the other team got more. The ball comes off the rim, and the other team grabbed it, and that's a rebound, and they got more of those than us." It's one of my favorite videos of all time when he's in a
I've never
post
seen that
game
actually.
interview.
I have to check that out.
Dude, it is hilarious. So I'm actually going with him getting rebounds tonight too, which
Okay.
is what's hilarious. Um,
Let's see.
yeah, he has cleared his line and 4 out of 4 so far this season.
Okay.
And one of the things I really like about this as well is it's a good matchup against Memphis. And then also his rebound chances have been pretty high. Looking at that, so had 10 rebound chances, 11, 8, and 8. So he's averaging 9.3 rebound chances. So for him to just grab 4, I think he's got a pretty good chance of doing that. Also, his minutes are pretty high, 30, 29, 34, 31. So he's on the floor a lot. He's getting a lot of rebound chances. Um, like you said, this is going to be a high scoring, high paced game. I think there's going to be a lot of shots put up, lots of chances for some rebounds. So, what do you think?
I like that. I made fun of Dave the other day for wanting to play Torian Prince. I was just like, I was just, it didn't seem like of all the players to pick, Torian Prince didn't seem like where my head would go to first. But the guy's playing consistently high minutes. I got obviously, he's new to the rotation there. I don't know if he's got a relationship with Doc Rivers. I don't know, but it just seems like Doc likes him out there, and without until Chris Middleton gets back, he seems like he's going to be playing some big minutes. I'm just curious to see. I was about to pull up on Cleaning the Glass here to see what his rebounding percentiles look like early in this season. Yeah, he's 80th percentile defensive rebounder at the wing position. So, yeah, pretty good.
Yep.
Also, he's also great on free throws. Not a ton of opportunities there, but he's the 92nd rebounder on defensive free throws and 82 on offensive rebounding percentage off free throws. So,
yeah.
And
one of the things I really like too, looking at this, Memphis to power forwards, 23rd in defensive rebounds, 25th in offensive rebounds allowed so far this year. So really, really like that. His projections also, if you just want to look at props like cash projections, projected for 4.5 rebounds. And after he goes ahead and gets his 4 rebounds, he'll serve the opposing team pancakes. So I really like that.
I like some of these comps too. DFS 5, Jalen Smith 7, Patrick Williams 6, John Collins 5, Taylor Hendricks 5. So nice rebounding numbers from the power forward position. So nice. I like that. Good one.
Yep.
Cool. My play was also on the Milwaukee side, also one of the newcomers to the Milwaukee rotation, Gary Trent Jr. So I liked 2 different ways to play this here. I liked his points. It's really the only place to look with Gary Trent Jr. That's kind of what he does. They are on 2 days rest today, especially early in this season. I like to, not a ton of trends to go off, though we're starting to get there where we're seeing some trends develop. Let's not look at this season. There we go. So his line is 11.5 points. He's playing big minutes. So let's actually click back over here so we can see his minutes real quick. 35, 34. This game's a little dip at 28, but then back up to 37.5. So he's playing big minutes. I think we have him projected for like 34 minutes tonight. If we look at what he's done in the past on 2 days rest, we bring his minutes here up to 32 minutes, which should be pretty safe. He's only gone under that once this season. 16 of his last 16 games on 2 days rest with 32 minutes played. He's cleared his point line of 11.5. Love the 11.5 for him because the guy is a 3-point shooter. So, if he's hot, he can get 4 threes and you were good to go. Though he doesn't get to 4 threes a ton. The other way I looked at Gary Trent here was on his 3-pointers. Let's bring this back up to, we don't even have to have the 2-day filter on there. Just bring his minutes up to 31. There we go. 31. Look at that. 28 of his last 30 games when he's played 31 minutes. He's had 2+ made threes. It's a little pricey, so maybe you want to put these together. That's one way to do it. You can take his point line, even if you want to bring his points to 10 points to cover yourself a little bit, and then tack 2 threes onto that. I think that could be a way because minus 178 on FanDuel. It was, and this is going up. When I wrote this down earlier, it was minus 148 not that long ago. So definitely some movement on Gary Trent Jr. there. So should be a fast-paced game with Memphis. So I like that.
I also had Gary Trent Jr. written down for 2 threes. And
nice.
I just looked at his I just looked at his, this so far this season, 4 out of 4. Looking at his 3-point attempts, 5 attempts, 5 attempts, 6 attempts, 6 attempts. So,
Yeah, that's
pretty
what he
great.
does, right?
If you just, yeah, he just jacks up threes. That's
Yeah,
his job. To like, hey, go over there,
yeah,
catch the ball, shoot the ball. That's it.
yes, sir.
We like guys like that.
We do, we do.
If we want to look at a first quarter prop really
Okay,
quick,
yeah,
um, Giannis is the guy. Uh, Giannis away. Going his first quarter,
first quarter, yeah.
just for him to get 5. If we're gonna do an alternate
Okay,
prop, if you want to throw this into a builder, his last 20 away, he's over at 85%.
there you go.
9 out of the last 10. If you just want to look at last season, he was 80% and getting at least 5 points. So I might throw that in a builder piece for the first quarter prop. That builder I threw out yesterday for the first quarter hit
Hmm.
very easily. Hero soared over,
Yeah, he did.
and I forgot who else it was that that soared over their line, but it was like so sweat free. I was like, this was one of the easiest like first quarter bets I've had in a while. So,
Yeah, that was great.
but yeah, in another thing too, if you want to, I know Bet365 also offers assists altered down to like 1, and I
Okay,
really like him to just get 1 assist in the first quarter. Um, in his last 20 away, 95%.
yeah, look at that. Only
So
one miss
pretty
right
good little
there.
look.
Yeah,
Yep.
and also at Memphis, 3 in a row at Memphis, 5 in a
Hmm.
row against Memphis. So, yeah, I like that. Very nice.
Yep. So some kind of Giannis first quarter builder is probably going to end up in the
Yeah,
Discord. Just wanted to throw those out on the pod though.
sweet. All right, I like it. All right, let's keep it moving. We promised each other we'd stay to 30 minutes today. So let's move on to the next game here. What's next on the props dot cash? Houston at Dallas, your hometown Dallas Mavs. Um, where's my notes here? Houston is 2-2 on the season. Dallas 3-1. Kind of what we expected from Dallas. Off to a good start. 6.5-point favorites at home. Total is 227.5. What were you looking at in this game? I know you mentioned Jalen Green before we got on.
Yeah, I'm interested in Jalen Green points plus assists. I don't know if I'm going to run this yet, but it was something I was looking at, or just his points. Um, the Mavericks so far this year, um, to shooting guards 24th and points allowed, 28th and assists allowed. So this is something I was looking at potentially playing. I didn't have it locked in yet. Honestly, just wanted to talk it over in the pod. I'm wondering if some of that too also could be, they played Ant this
Yeah,
year.
that
They
monster
played,
game from
uh,
from Ant. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
they
dragging that
played
number
Booker
up
this
for
year.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
these
so
small
that's
sample
part of why I'm
sizes.
like,
That's it's like the like we talked about in the pod yesterday, like the 3-point attempts against the Knicks. Like the Knicks allowing the most 3-point attempts is really it's still because of that first game against Boston. So when you're only at four games for most of the teams, yeah, that's kind of still a small sample size to read too much into. And yeah, I feel like that 40 piece right there, the PA from Ant could be dragging things up because other than that, let's see at 26.5, no other shooting guard. Booker got close to 26 there, but his line was 32.5. Look at some
Champagne
small
did,
some small forwards here
but
too, if anyone pops,
yeah.
because he's like a combo wing kind of guy. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I didn't I couldn't find anything that I was really loving from this game. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I didn't have anything for this game. Dylan Brooks. I cashed on Dylan Brooks the other day. 10.5, 11.5 points, but at 31 in this game against Dallas, but he did play
Yeah.
42 minutes,
The
42
other thing I
minutes in
was
that game.
looking at The other thing I was looking at really quick
Yeah.
was, and I don't know if I'm going to play it. Historically, Luca has done very well against the Rockets, but he hasn't been playing very well lately. So
Mm,
I'm a little scared to play him, especially if you just go to Like
Yeah.
if you want to go points or just points, rebounds, assists, yeah. So far this season he hasn't been great. So it's like, do you want to,
But look at that
do
history
you want
against
to
Houston,
risk?
though, man.
Yeah, look at the
That's
history. It's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to risk that and like count on a bounce back game? You could go for that, angle.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm willing to do that so far this season. I need to see a little bit more out of Luca
Yeah,
before I'm
and I'm
willing
surprised. I mean,
to bet on
Houston's
him
pretty
again.
good defensively.
Hmm.
And yeah, I was trying to see like comps for Luca. Is there's not really one. I think to me, Jokic is really probably the best comp for Luca.
Yeah.
But they haven't played yet this season, so not a ton to look at here. Yeah, I'm kind of taking a pass on this game. But
Yeah.
yeah,
You can move
anything
along.
else? Yeah.
No, that's it.
All right.
Yep.
All right, let's keep it moving. We got the Spurs. Spurs playing. They played last night, right? They're on a back-to-back. Yes, and
Hmm.
playing the Jazz. Spurs are 1-3 on the season. Jazz are still winless, 0-4. Jazz are 1.5-point favorites at home. Totals 222. Both teams that are, I think San Antonio is a little bit more on their way there, obviously with Wemby in the fold, but than Utah's. But two teams that will be towards the bottom of the standings. What'd you like from this game?
I was tempted with Wimby, but he
Mhm.
he didn't look great last night. I think he went to the locker room at one point. So I'm looking at Sohan, Jeremy Sohan,
I know Dave was on
and
Sohan too. We spoke a little bit before we went live. So hit me. What's your Sohan play?
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was looking at honestly, I was kind of tempted to like go points, rebounds, or yeah, I think I was looking at even points, rebounds, assists.
Yeah.
But he's hit points and rebounds on all four this year. He's yeah, even points just looks good if you want to do that. 15 plus might be a great builder piece for him and on points. And then yeah, Utah is not great at defending, you know, power forwards, centers. A lot of people are targeting big man assists against uh
Utah.
Utah
Mhm.
and yeah, Sohan's he is he's like a weird like he was a point guard for the for the Spurs at
Yes.
one point and when they were like struggling to find a point guard and so he has that playmaking ability. So I think I was interested in the points, rebounds, assists just because of that aspect. But what do you think?
Yeah, he's a weird guy to classify. Last season he played. I'm pulling up on here right here on Cleaning the Glass. He played 37% of his minutes at point guard last season and 62% of his minutes at shooting guard. So in cleaning the glass parlance, that's a combo. They call that a combo guard if you split your time between point guard and shooting guard. This season, he's playing 90% of his minutes at power forward and 9% of his minutes at small forward. So very unique guy. In his rookie season, he played 73% of his minutes at small forward, 24% at power forward. So a hard guy to classify, can throw off some of these DVP matchups, but yeah, he definitely has some playmaking ability. Jeremy Sohan, 2 assists, was like a leg to alt builders that we went to time and again last season. Did burn us
I love
on
that.
several occasions, but it was just too tempting to pass up a lot of the times. And you see, he's had 2 in every game this season. Yeah, that this is pretty enticing here. I know rebounds was the play Dave was looking at that he was interested in, and I could see why. His line of 7.5, he's cleared it by a pretty good margin the last 3 games. What's his history against Utah? 9 rebounds the end of last season. The rest were all no, that was earlier on.
Yeah, when I
Assists.
looked at his points plus rebounds, he hit 50% of matchups against
There you go.
Utah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I was looking going that angle. Um,
I like that.
you
I like
know,
the PR
points
for him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
Nice. All right. I had a couple from this game. Actually, all from. I guess both of us are out on. Did you have anything for the Jazz or no?
Nope.
No, me neither.
Good.
I got 3 plays, all on the Spurs side. We'll run through them real quick. I know Wemby did leave early last night, right? Or something's going on with
Mhm.
him.
He left and then came back, and
Okay,
he
so he
was
had
the only leg I had
27
left
minutes
on a
last night.
parlay, and
This is what I found interesting with Wemby, though. Wemby threes. Okay, they're on a back to
ooh,
back, right? Like we
yep.
mentioned. So if we look at him on a back to back, look at that. 7 of his last 8 games on a back to back, averaging, having 2 in almost every game, 3 in 2 of those games. I liked his 3-point attempts, 5.3. That's actually the same average. He's averaging 5.3 3-point attempts per game this season through 4 games, right? So I thought that was nice at minus 140. It was minus 135 a little earlier, so creeping up a bit there. But I just like the hit rates on that for Wemby. I should take a look, see what he did against Utah last season. Won in all those games. So let's see. The other one I like, I'm gonna be kicking myself later tonight for giving out a play on Harrison Barnes, but he's the kind of guy that like the whole game could go by and you're like, was he on the floor or what? It's like he's one of those guys that just kind of disappears big time sometimes. But he's got some great numbers on back to backs. Some guys just have it on back to back. So I like his points. This is a little mini Harrison Barnes builder. So we'll look at him just so that we have an idea of what he's playing this season. Through 4 games, you can see super consistent 29, 28, 29, 30 minutes through 4 games this season. So super consistent. If we look at what he's done in back to backs, when he's played, what was my minute filter here? 27. So that's the fewest he's played all season. Slide that up to 27 there. And we'll alt it down to 10 points. Start to see a lot of green there. So 27 of his last 30 games on a back-to-back when he's played at least 27 minutes. He's getting the job done there. And then if you add on, so that's 10 points. That's leg number 1. Leg number 2,
Okay.
rebounds for him. Same deal. Back-to-backs. 3 rebounds right there. Slide the minutes up to 27. And you'll see the same, I think, the 26. So 1 less, 26 of his last 30 games on a back-to-back when he's played 27 plus minutes. You can put those 2 together. They weren't up. There was no lines up for this game on FanDuel yet for some reason. But on DraftKings, you could go 10-3 for Barnes at minus 115. I thought that was a nice little builder, though I'm sure I'll be kicking myself later today for spending so much time
Honestly,
talking
look at
about
his
Harrison Barnes.
head-to-heads.
Oh,
Yeah, look
yeah?
at his head-to-heads with no filters. Like, I mean, he used to be in the same, I guess, division as
Yeah, with Sacramento, yeah.
Utah. So 3,
Look,
yeah.
dude, look
So
at
there's 3
that.
rebounds,
Great
10
call.
points every single matchup. So,
Great call.
if you need a little bit more convincing, there you
There
go.
you go. I didn't even look at that one. But yeah, that's great. That's great. Obviously, going back to 21, we still had Rudy Gobert and Mike Conley over there, but even even last year was still pretty good, and it's pretty similar rotation to what they had last year. Just had that one miss, and that was late in the season. Yeah, you see Low only 29 minutes there when normally he was like a 35-minute guy. So yeah,
Yeah, he's
good call.
had 10-3 and 3 out of 4 so far this year. So
Yeah.
it's a really reasonable play.
All right.
Percentages.
All
I
right.
like it.
Got the stamp of approval. All right. Last one, real quick. Julian Champagny, over 3.5 rebounds. This looks like it's moving up everywhere. It was minus 145 earlier today, minus 160 on DK now. We can see this season what he's done: 7-6-5. Just had this one miss, but this was against OKC. He only played 20 minutes in that game, whereas you can see he was playing a bit more, 25, 27, 28 in those first 3 games. You probably see more along the lines of that tonight with this matchup against the Jazz as opposed to the Thunder. So I like his rebounds. Also, good success against Utah, 5, 6, and 5. This was last season. That was the season before. So, in the 3 games they played last season, 5, 6, and 5. So cleared it by quite a bit. And I liked looking at cleaning the glass. He's so far this season, 87th percentile offensive rebounder at his position and the 74th percentile defensive rebounder. What that means, he's combined offensive and defensive rebounds. He's grabbing 19% of the Spurs rebounds when he is on the floor for the Spurs. So 1/5 of the Spurs rebounds are going to Champagnie. So I like that as well. I don't know if I played him before. This might be the first time I'm playing him. So, all right, let's move on. Phoenix at the Clippers. This is a rematch. This was they opened up the season together in game 1. So we got a rematch from a few days ago or last week. What'd you have? Let me intro this game real quick. Phoenix 3-1 on the season. Clippers 2-2. Clippers are 4.5-point home dogs. Total is 221.5. What'd you like from this game?
I actually hadn't got to this game yet, so I haven't got this over. So it's all you here.
All me. All right. I just got one. James Harden. Where is he? James Harden rebounds. A lot of rebound plays today. James Harden, 5.5 rebounds, -1. Again, moving as well. It's minus 130 now. I got this for minus 113 earlier on FanDuel. They are on a back-to-back as well. So let's take a look at what Mr. Harden has done on back-to-back rebounding. Let's slide the guy. He's playing monster minutes for the Kawhi and Paul George-less Clippers this season. Just bring him up to 29 minutes right there. Nice hit rate. 18 of his last 23 games, averaging 7 rebounds. So clearing it by quite a bit there. And then if we look at this season, 3 for 4 this season. And look, game 1, 12 rebounds against Phoenix. So and in this miss against Portland, he only played 32 minutes in this game by definitely his lowest total of the season, 31.7. You can see he's playing 39, 38, 36 minutes there. That's actually 40 minutes in that game against Phoenix. So that was my only play from this game. Although I did look at Zubac was popping a little bit in our model. And Dave got, it was so funny. Dave got me thinking yesterday about, I was talking about this, like the Harden Zubac pick and roll that they have. And it was so funny. The Yankee Dodger game ended last night. I watched a little bit of the Dodgers celebration. And I flipped over to the Clippers Blazers game. And literally the first play as I flipped the game on is like, pick and roll, driving into the paint. Harden dishes it to Zubac. Zubac finishes right at the rim. I was like, oh, there you go. So I was looking at doing something
Wish
like
that would have happened more last night.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I played him points plus assists, and he didn't do much of that last night.
No. Yeah, it just so happened to be the first play when I turned the game on. But I was looking at something like a Zubac 15 points. You see his line 16.5, creeping up to 17.5, and Harden 8 assists, which he's done in every game this season. I thought that was nice in this matchup. I could see them going to that a few times in this game against the Suns tonight. So, all right, that wraps up the NBA. Let's hit. We're closing in the 30 minutes. We got to keep our promise. We got the Texans coming into New York to play the Jets yet again on primetime. Jets, they didn't play on primetime for years and years and years, and now it seems like every single game this season's been in primetime. Jets are 2.5-point favorites at home to the Texans. Not sure about that. 42.5 points. What do you got in this game, Jordan?
All right, so I'm going to start with just a straight, and that's Joe Mixon rush yards.
Yes.
I was looking at Mixon to go ahead and clear his line. He's had over 100 yards in 3 out of 4 games that he's played this year. So really liked that spot for him. And then the Jets defense hasn't been like all that great against the run. I don't know why it's not popping up on my end.
There we go.
We gotta do the whole swap to
the
NFL.
Sorry, I was I'm used to Dave Manning.
No, you're good.
So it's slipped my mind for a second there. There we go.
Yep. So running backs against the Jets so far this season. If you just scroll down all the way to like the first game, start off with Mason 147, Pollard had 62, Javonte Williams 77, Ray Davis 97, Najee Harris 102, and then Ramondre just missed his line this past week with 48.
Yeah.
But that's a New England team that's not all that great. So I really love this. I mean, he's been getting the ball, he's been getting fed the ball. I wonder what his rush attempts line is. His rush attempts line is at 20.5. So I'm curious to see what his if we're gonna just do this on the fly, like if he gets 20 plus attempts, what his history is. There we go. 13 out of 15 clearing. That's not right.
Yeah, 13 out of 15 with 20 plus rush attempts. There you go. 13.
Well, I was saying
right?
his
rushing yards. Yeah.
Rushing yards with that. I got that right. I got that wrong. Otherwise.
There we go. That's him.
So 20 plus attempts. Maybe even if we wanted to just go 20 plus attempts and him to get 60 rush yards.
That's 100%. That's 100% right there.
Yeah, 60 rush yards, and then get him to get 2 receptions, which he's done every single time so far this year. Maybe that would be a good little builder for tonight.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I feel like this is one of those games that you got to be pretty surgical about with some injuries and just the Jets being the Jets.
And not a lot of, looking at our we have our model here, in terms of quarterbacks, like DVP against these two teams, like they're both bottom 4 in terms of matchups, completions, attempts, passing yards. So not a lot of offensive output from the quarterback position against either of these two teams. Running backs, like you mentioned, that was the one spot. The Jets running backs against the Jets was a spot to target. And then I think even a little bit what I did like is wide receivers against Houston. Now on a target and reception basis, not great, but what teams have been able to do is air the ball out a little bit. So their air yards, I think they've allowed the most air yards to opposing wide receivers in the league this season. And so their yards per reception numbers are actually very good. Other than Cleveland, they've allowed the second most yards per catchable target. Hold on, let me just make sure I have. Second most yards per catchable target. The most yards per reception. The most air yards per target. Second most yards after catch per reception. So I played some. I like the two big boys for the Jets. Garrett Wilson receiving yards. You put him at 40. He's done that in every game but one this season and just been crushing it his last 4 games. And then so Wilson 40, Adams 40, which he's also done. I mean, it's just the 2 games with the Jets, but 54 last week in New England. 40-40 for each of these guys is minus 111. So I thought that was nice. Yeah, that's where Rodgers is going to be going. And then you can't, you're talking about the Jets receiving game. He's not a wide receiver, obviously, but Breece Hall is just a huge part of the Jets receiving game. I like his reception. So 3 receptions. This game against New England last week was weird. Just throw that out. But you see that 6 of the first 7 games of the season, 3+ receptions. So I even like doing Adams 40, Wilson 40, and Breece 3 receptions, plus 157. I thought that was a nice little 3-leg builder for the Jets here. Other than that,
right, yeah.
I don't have a ton. I don't really have anything else for this game, but the one I did like, you covered already, was the Mixon. Yeah, the Mixon rushing yards.
Yep. And I gotta ask a question. This is the last little play I have.
Okay.
Are you hungry? Because I got a 4
I'm
for
always
4 for
hungry.
you.
All right, hit me. I'm always hungry.
Shout out Wendy's. All right. So I'm also liking the Jets receivers today, Wilson and Devontae, but I was going to play them at 4 receptions each. Wilson's hit 4 receptions in every game so far this season. Really liked him to be able to do that.
Targets too,
Devontae
averaging 10.5 targets per
yeah.
game. I mean, it's just awesome. Yeah.
Insane amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Devontae Adams, for him to get 4 receptions. He's done it in 4 out of 5 this year. Going to the last 20 games that he's played, or even last 30. You want to look at that. That's 80% over the last 30. So he's just, it's Devontae Adams. He's going to catch the ball. That's what he does.
Yeah.
And then on the Texan side, no Nico Collins, no Stephon Diggs. I feel like the 2 guys that are going to be the main receiving options are Schultz and Dell. And I had both of them to get 4+ receptions as well. So looking at Tank Dell, if he has, or Schultz, yeah, you can start with Schultz if you want.
We're on Dell now. There we go.
Yeah, we're on Dell. For him to get 4+, receptions. History so far this year hasn't been amazing, but 3 out of the last 4 he's hit it. But I was also looking at him if he gets, I think it was 5+ targets, which I expect him to get 5+ targets. I don't know how he doesn't get at least 5 targets in this game without
Diggs Collins
or
and Diggs.
Yeah, it's just 8 out of the last 9 with 5+ targets. And I actually think that Schultz actually might get targeted even a little bit more than Dell. Just because I feel like tight ends versus the Jets, that there's a little bit more of a safety outlet. I actually have him probably getting at least 6 targets tonight. I don't feel like that's unreasonable at all. So if he has 6+ targets, he's over in 19 out of the last 20, 27 out of the last 30.
Look at that. There we go.
So I really like Schultz to get 4 tonight. I'm actually kind of splitting these up as well. I do like Schultz and Wilson 4 and 4. I think that's like around plus 100, a little bit in the plus money, and then Devontae and Dell together, and for them to get 4 and 4. So if you just want to builder wise, you can do that. All 4 of them together though it's plus 400 on FanDuel boost with the little boost that they have going on tonight. So 4 for 4 plus 400.
I love that. I love that. I love doing the toggling between with Nico Collins and without Nico Collins. There's with obviously different teams, but still it's with Collins. Oh wait, is this with Collins? Yeah, that's
with him. Yep.
Yeah, here's with Collins. There's his receptions, and without Collins, look at that.
Very different.
Yes, very different charts, and like 5s, 6s, 7s. So
some of those are when he was. I think was that one thing when he was with the Cowboys. Some of those.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Different team, but yeah.
But like last year, if you just go to last year without
there you go.
Collins, 4 and 4. So
4 and 4, 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. All right, let's go.
Yep.
All right, I think
That's
that does it,
all I
right?
got on that game tonight. Yep.
Yeah,
That's it for
tread
me.
lightly. These Thursday night games in general, the Jets in general, and Houston too. Like two teams that you know, not a lot pop. Like they're not at the top of the models here in terms of teams to target at a lot of the positions and a lot of the the stats we typically look at. So tread lightly in these games. Do a little builder, alt it down. Play it safe. I think that's the way to go here. So this was fun. We can do
Yep.
a little Thursday pod, a little out of the ordinary. We will be back, I believe, tomorrow. Got to check with my partner Dave on the Friday pod. But I hope to see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and let's all make some money tonight.
Let's do it.